dears. I'd like to first apologize for the really bad quality of this video. I don't know why, but my photo booth has been acting up, so it's not working quite properly. But other than that, I guess I'd start this video by saying that it's been kind of a ridiculous week. Now, you may have noticed I have my tooth back, which is fabulous, sort of. But it was quite a process because I went to the dentist on Monday, and then it fell out Monday night, like 6 hours after I got home. So I had to go back on Wednesday, and they still think it's going to fall out again just because there's something wrong with the size of the crown. So it's probably going to fall out again, and then I'll probably have to go through a whole another series of dental procedures here, and I have to call my dentist back home to talk to him, and it's just, crazy. And so I was talking to my mom about this, and she's like, well, since we don't want your teeth moving over, I'll send you your retainer. And I was like, okay, but I have at home probably 6 retainers. So, there's one retainer that I need, my Invisalign, or that would be best, but we can't seem to find it, so Mom's mailing me 3 more retainers. Like, who has 3 retainers to mail to their kids and then still has 3 at home? My dental problems are ridiculous. So, the other ridiculous thing about this week was the weather, because it was cold, and then yesterday it was like, was it yesterday? No, not yesterday. It got warm, but actually before that, before the whole weather thing, is we had a flood at McGill, and not because of the rain, but because on McTavish Street there's a reservoir under one of our fields, and apparently they've been doing work on it, and the pipes broke, and so it was literally flooded. My roommate came home. I was home by that point, but my roommate came home and everything from knee down was like soaking wet. There's this video of this girl standing in McTavish Street, and it's no longer a street, it's a river. I'll see if I can't post that too. But it's like a river, and she slips and falls and just gets carried down the river. So it's been ridiculous. And apparently this isn't the first time this has happened recently. It's happened a couple of times in the past 8 years. So I'm not sure why that is, but it's been crazy. And then, of course, it all froze the next day, and they had to close a lot of the streets so that the workers could finish stuff. But I didn't get any class off, which was a shame, though a lot of classes were relocated to buildings that weren't flooded. And our My Courses, which is our online course access site, the servers have been running really slowly because I think the building they were in was damaged by the flood. So that's been interesting. And yeah, the other annoying thing, I had a really bad day yesterday, mostly just because I spilled boiling hot tea on myself, and I burnt myself really badly. The burn is still there. It's very obviously quite dangerously, not dangerously, that's too dramatic, but it hurt like a bitch. And it was super painful, and I just wanted to curl up into a ball and cry for the next day. I got over that, but I was not having a good afternoon. So that's been the general summary recap of my week. I went to karate, and that was always fun. I was really, really sore though, because our Shihan is kind of evil sometimes when it comes to warm-ups. He'll do something and be like, your calves hurt? Okay, I have a surefire method to make sure that you won't be able to feel your calves hurting. And then he'll do thigh stretches, and then your thighs will burn because you'll be doing it for 3 minutes. And then he'll be like, I have a surefire way to make sure your thighs don't hurt anymore. And then he'll make you do 50 sit-ups. And he's like, your stomach's hurt? I have a surefire way to make you forget about your stomach muscles hurting. And then you'll do push-ups. So I rolled out of bed the next morning, and I almost collapsed. My legs almost didn't take my weight, and then I sort of limped around the house. But other than that, it's been good. Yesterday, when you have a bad day and it seems to turn everything down, and then a couple hours later or the next morning you're like, okay, all things considered, that wasn't so bad. That was this week for me. Next week will be interesting. I have a big Chinese exam, which is always stressful. But other than that, it's been good. I had a conference this morning for 20th century Chinese history, which was so much fun because what happened is we were looking at the period, the 20s and the 30s, 1920 and 30, and that's the warlord period. So our TA divided us up into groups, and I was the peasant group, and we had a warlord group, and then we had the foreign investors group, and then we had the CCP and the Kuomintang and the Soviets. And so we were like acting out this whole thing about like what we were angry about and what we wanted, and then the Soviets came and we were like, we're not sure how we feel about foreigners, and then the warlords came and we're like, we're gonna kill you, and it was lots of fun. It was very dramatic, and role playing was good. And it's fun to be in an interesting conference, because it really sucks if you just sit there for an hour and you're like, well, Mao said this in his essay, and I don't think this is true, because like that. It could be much more interesting, and it was. And I think that's all I'm going to say for the moment. If I have anything else to say, I'll just Facebook you, as usual. Yep, that's it. I love you guys. I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're having a slightly better week than I am. Anyways, bye.